Why isn't there we go? Is the microphone? Oh, there we go. I feel like the microphone wasn't working. Can anyone give me some feedback if the microphone was working or not? Well, I feel like it's working now. Anyway, greetings everyone. Today is August 24, 2022. This is Evan Studios weekly podcast number 41. And as usual, we start the podcast doing a little mic check because we've had some issues in the past for those that haven't been following us for a long time. But our common customers are already used to some issues. Anyway, so okay, so it wasn't working. Okay, just to be sure. Glad I noticed it right away, and I also changed the slide right away. See, I'm getting good at this. Uh, After 41 episodes. First of all, it's amazing to see you guys again. Let me start by saying that today I want to go through four topics. If I forget one, please remind me. Um, I want to talk about what happened in the last month with my sickness and in my diseases. I want to talk about Fleeting Irish shoulder patch. I want to talk about Journey Abroad, and finally, I want to talk about the reviews that I promised I was going to make on Twitter. So if I forget one of the topics, if you guys remember, please don't let me go away from the podcast without talking about these topics. I'm probably not gonna forget, but just in case. So yeah, like I said, it's great to see you guys, Foster, and Ariane in the chat. I'm sure a lot others are in the chat right now or are watching right now, even though you're not typing in the chat. But it's good to see you all after such a long time. I feel like we didn't make a single podcast in August, but I also haven't done a lot in August. I was supposed to go on vacations, and I was sick for the 2 weeks that I was supposed to be like in and off of vacation. So, yeah, my vacations were cut non-existent this year. So let's start by focusing on the first things first. Try to explain why I have been down and out. Like 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, maybe three. Um, I went to my barber on the weekend. She was coughing a lot and complaining about she was having like a lot of like body pain and lungs, and she had made the COVID test. They both had come out. She did two COVID tests. Both had come out negative, and she was like, "Oh, this is just not a common cold." Well, I got the common cold. Basically, I got it, and what happened to me was I mostly just got like throat pain, um, and the typical like light fever and whatnot. So when that happened, I was prescribed something called Brufen 600, uh, which is like anti-inflammation pills for my throat, and I started taking those, and it started messing up with my stomach. So after a while, I spent like a week with massive stomach pain. Like even like gastric juices coming through my stomach would hurt a lot, especially if I do these periods of fasting. A little before I go to sleep, during sleep, and after I wake up, I do these periods of fasting. It's part of my it's part of my etiquette, my diet and whatnot. And if I spend a lot of time not eating, I will get even more pain, even more increased pain. So I called the doctor again. Doctor was like, okay, now you got to take this thing called esomeprazole, which is some gastric resistant pills that supposedly they like coat your stomach so it won't hurt and whatnot. So I gotta take this for a month. So it was like, okay, after 2 weeks you should feel no more stomach pain. After a month you should be good. And I'm like, yay, I'm gonna be fine. And then and then I got COVID. So after almost 3 years running away from COVID, going like super proud that I never got COVID, I got COVID. I have no idea how I got COVID. I'm the type of person that always disinfect his hands when he comes from the streets. When he touches something that someone else has been touching, I always wear a mask and whatnot. So I really have no idea how I got COVID, but I got it. And COVID just gave me a lot of like body pain. Actually, out of the three things that I got back to back to back, COVID actually felt the least problematic. I don't want to like downplay how bad COVID is. It's just that when it comes to me, and I already had like three shots. When it comes to me, COVID didn't hit that hard. All that COVID did was um, I felt tired and I felt like super hot. Like I sweat a lot. Like to the point where it felt like I just went and take a shower and I just came out of the shower and I didn't dry myself up. It was that amount of water. Like I was covered in sweat. It wasn't crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, I went through COVID. The worst part from COVID was still the stomach pain from that I got from the cold, and from the pills that I took for the cold, and for the throat. So after COVID was done, apparently the stomach pills were already doing its work. So at the end of the second week, I was like, okay, that was like 2 weeks that I was sick, but now the pills for the stomach are finally working out. I don't feel a lot of stomach pain. I'm finally like I'm gonna be able to enjoy some free time or whatever. I got influenza. Basically I got like the flu, and this flu hit like a bitch because my immune system was like, bro, like what are you doing? You got sick, you got better, you got sick again, and you got better, and now you got sick again. You clearly don't know what you're doing. So there's a few, and I might be explaining this wrong, but if there's a doctor in chat or if someone listens to this, they probably can explain better. But usually your body, when your body decides that you are fucking up, your body starts calling the shots. Like usually when you get knocked out, what happens is it's like your body goes to sleep because your body feels like whatever activity you're doing, you're fucking up. Like you shouldn't be in charge of your body. So your body turns off. Like when you get knocked out, your body just goes to sleep. That's almost like fainting. But it's not. It's caused by the impact, but it's not like a direct causality of the impact. Actually, it's your brain that goes, nah, you're going to sleep, bro. Like you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You just got hit like really hard, and then I'm gonna go to sleep to avoid more damage, to avoid trauma, to avoid a lot of things. Your body is the one that sends you to sleep. Apparently, that's not the only thing that your immune system does that kind of works against you. Like almost everyone knows how fever works, which is your immune system trying to get rid of a virus. You have a bacteria, you have a virus, your immune system starts heating up your body in order to fight the virus and try to kill it with heat and high temperatures, which can also kill you. Uh, and another thing that apparently it does that I had no idea, but your body can kind of like paralyze you by making your muscles like really stiff and inflamed. So basically, all my neck region and like my trapezium region and whatnot was under excruciating pain, and I felt like I was paralyzed. And apparently, what causes that is your immune system does that in order to force you to rest. I didn't know any of this shit, but yay, I know now. So I'm probably not very far from the truth. This was what was kind of explained to me. So this is pretty much what happened. I had like a lot of physical pain. I could not move my neck. Uh, Going to sleep was like extremely painful because I would have to be in like an awkward position. But hopefully there's a pill called Benuron, which is paracetamol, which a lot of people say that it's possible that paracetamol is placebos. I beg to disagree, but whatever. It has helped me a lot in many different situations in my life. And yeah, thankfully, every time I took paracetamol, the pain will go away or at least feel not as bad, which will be enough to allow me to sleep. So today is the first day in like 3 weeks that I don't feel sick. So yay me. With that out of the way, that's why I haven't been as communicative in Discord, in Twitch, and in posting a lot of stuff and whatnot. I've just been out, dude. I spend most of my days like I come to work. I try to write a little bit of story. I try to draw a few maps and whatnot, and then I don't play. I just most of the time I just go back to bed and I watch anime, watch movies, and I just try to like lay in bed and try to rest and whatnot. It's fucked up. So yeah, that's what has been happening to me in the last 3 weeks. So with that out of the way, hopefully I won't get any more diseases anytime soon. So let's focus on the second topic that I want to talk about, which is Fleeting Aries and the shoulder patch. Now, last month, uh, pretty much the month of August, the CG team for Fleeting Aries they underwent a few difficulties. And as a team, we tried to solve most of the situations. It's nothing big, but most of it was technical. They ran out of internet for a while, etc., etc., which caused the things to go like really fucking slow because they could not like transfer stuff between each other and whatnot. It was kind of ass. But the problem is, uh, at this stage of the year, we have very specific plans in which we want to release shoulder patch, then we want to release Halloween patch, then we want to release Christmas patch, and there's very little margin for mistakes here. And right now, it this is not right now. This is uh, uh like last week or a couple weeks ago. It started to feel like something will have to take a hit. Like either the shoulder patch will not have the quality that we wanted, or even worse, the shoulder patch wouldn't have the quality that we wanted, and the Halloween patch wouldn't have the quality that we wanted. Um, and honestly, the Halloween patch and the Christmas patch are both seasonal patches. It's not like we can just adjust them. Oh, we're not gonna release them in Halloween. We're gonna release the Halloween like a month later. Like it's not doable. They're seasonal patches. They're seasonal patches. They have to come out when when they're in season. So, um, we had a long discussion, and obviously the bestiality patch definitely felt like a good indicative of we should not do this, because the bestiality patch we tried to do it regardless of how much time we had, if the story was written, if we had time to adjust anything, and we just did what we could do in the span of a month. And to this day, we are still condemning ourselves for what we released. Like, because we believe, even though bestiality is not my specialty, I do believe that we could have done a lot better than we did. And in that regard, there is, in my mind, no scenario in which I can deliver an underwhelming shoulder patch. So my decision was either I release a shitty shoulder patch, or I release a shitty Halloween patch, or I even risked releasing a bad shoulder patch and a bad Halloween patch. And after a long discussion and a long time deciding, we have decided to extend the size of the shoulder patch and cut the Halloween patch for this year, for the sake of the quality of both the shoulder patch, the the Christmas patch, and the Halloween patch itself. Even though it won't come out this year, even though it's like mostly written and whatnot, we still have to draw the images for it. Uh, and we don't want to we don't want to we don't want quality to take a hit for the sake of eating deadlines or releasing more stuff. Um, the Shota patch was 4 scenes away from being delivered, but last month we delivered 2 scenes in 1 month, which is obviously unacceptable. It's way below the rhythm at which we are used to work at. But unfortunately, we have hit some difficulties, and since we since we were already not going to make it to the end of the month or make it to the end of August, we were like, listen, we can either release something underwhelming, or we can go full. Uh, uh, we can bet all chips in the Shota patch and just go full focus on the Shota patch instead of, at this point, we will have to start dividing our attention and our work in between the Shota patch, Journey Abroad, and the Halloween patch. So what we are going to try to do is trying to make the Shota patch even better, because we're already late, and we are not gonna do like a 1 month Halloween patch. That's inconceivable for us. So we decided to extend the scenes in the Halloween patch, and with that, I have to announce that there will be, in extension to all the scenes that you have already seen spoiled on Discord, there will be 9 additional scenes in for the Shota patch, for a total of 20, like above 20 scenes. I don't remember how much is the number exactly. So it's going to be like a 20 plus scenes patch, which means it's going to be as big as a game on its own, which was, it was our goal to begin with. We actually, even for a while, considered not releasing it via Fleeting RSIF and actually releasing it on MV, because it literally is a standalone, massive game that goes over the course of like 45 gameplay days, has above 20 scenes. It has a big story. It has a lot of teams, from beach to Yucatan in a festival, scenes in the cinema, and we decided to also add a little flavor. Since we're not going to release the Halloween scene, we're going to have the girls cosplay a little bit. So they will spend the Halloween with the boys. Fujiko will join. So Fujiko and Ayame, the twins, are going to spend the Halloween with the boys, the twins. And Ayame and Fujiko are going to be wearing their own cosplay. So it's going to be like a mini Halloween flavor in it. So Ayame is going to wear a doggy costume. I'm not going to tell you guys where she's going to hold her tail at. If that makes any sense. How she's gonna keep her tail in place. And Fujiko is going to use her demon form costume from the Halloween, but in her human form, because she's not really a demon. So a succubus, but the succubus uniform, but in human form. So yeah, the Shota patch is turning out to be massive. I personally love everything that we have worked on so far, and everything that we have to deliver for the future. The Shota patch, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Shota. I play it. It's fine. It's not the same as Loli for me, and I can tell you that I'm really enjoying this one. Like, I am pretty sure that if I was playing this as a player, like not be associated with the team in any way, in any given way, shape, or form, I will still enjoy the hell out of the game. Another thing that I want to say about the Shota patch is that it's going to play like a visual novel, but there will be 3 points in the game where you can make a decision. And you have to make a decision pending to a certain side 3 times to get a different ending. So you will have 2 different endings. One will be like the bad ending, which is the one where you're caught by the father having sex with his kids, and his sprawls, whatever. And there is one where you are not caught, and you see what happens 6 years later. So the boys will be like full grown men, So yeah, depending on your decisions throughout the mini game or the game, you will get different endings. I personally like both endings. I don't think there's I tend to like one more than the other, but I think they're both pretty decent, and you shouldn't mind very much which one you get. You can replay the whole thing again and try to get the other ending, but you'll unlock both in the CG room once you finish the patch. So you can just go in and check how the other one plays out. It's literally what happens in the last day. It's the only difference. So basically, in the CG room, you will be able to replay both last days, um, and see how the other and how the other ending plays out. So you will be able to see everything in context. So yeah, what's to retain for this? The Shota patch is going to be massive. The Shota patch is going to be the idea is to release it somewhere in October. The Halloween patch is not going to come out. There's not going to be an extension of the Halloween patch this year. It was not going to be the last one anyway. We're just going to keep extending the Halloween patch every year with more scenes. Isaac and I both love doing that one. It's a shame that it's always that usually takes the cut, and it makes the most sense, especially since we never had a Christmas patch and people have been asking for a Christmas patch for so long. And we really, really want to deliver a nice, entertaining Christmas patch, very thematic with a really great mood, something that you can play on Christmas, have a really good time, put a smile on your face. There's going to be there's going to be a lot of cheating, but it's not going to be heavy on the NTR. It's going to be like more like Muda, a little bit more on the comic relief side, and the scenes are going to be really hot as usual, and people are going to be dressed as Santa's helper elves and in Santa costumes, and there's going to be some fun some fun teams. So it's going to be pretty fun. I'm really excited to work on the Christmas patch this year. I still haven't started working on it at all, but yeah, I feel like the decision to cut off the Halloween patch, you'll definitely see. It's going to be worthwhile once you have the Shota patch in your hands. I'm so excited for this one. And if you guys think that the scenes that have been released on the preview section of the Discord so far have been hot, you guys have no idea what's coming in the horizon. Like, I guarantee you, the scenes that are coming are gonna look like even hotter than the ones that we have. Like, all that we released so far is very vanilla-ish. It's literally the start of the story. It's the setup. Other than the one scene where they're in the movies and Robert is in the is a few rows in front of them. And another thing that I want to say is, I'm gonna let you guys decide this one. I'm gonna let you guys decide this one. But I am considering, for the first time, actually release the whole script. It's not the dialogues, just the script, everything that happens on the Shota patch. So if you guys want, you will always have the choice of reading it or not reading it. But I know, because some people, here's the catch. Like, I know some people can't control themselves. It's really hard. Like, if it's there, it's like having, like, trying to do a diet and you have junk food in your house. One thing is like, oh man, if I want to eat like some chocolate, I have to go to the store and buy it. And that's kind of like a determinant. But if you're trying to make a diet, and every time you go to the bathroom, you walk by the kitchen and you see some chocolate or some like potato chips or whatever in there, and it's just easy carbs, it's just easy food. You just open the pack and you start eating, and it's delicious. It's much harder to do a diet if you have temptation right there. So the thing is, if I do release the script for the Shota patch, I know a lot of you are going to be like, well, if I want to check it, I'll check it. If I don't want to check it, I just don't check it. But if you know it's there, you might be like, oh man, but I know it's there, but now I want to know what happens. And you end up spoiling yourself because you can't control yourself. So I'm going to let you guys decide until midnight, if you guys want me to release the script for the Shota patch on something like a paste pin or whatever. I don't think I'll be able to in paste pin because of some of the terms that go in there. Uh, but whatever, I might just make it available on a document on like Mega. Who cares? And if you guys want, I can release it there. And if you guys want to not submit to temptation and not risk checking the scripts ahead of time, I won't post it. So it will be up to you guys. That's it for Fleeting Iris. I think that these are bittersweet news. I know that some of it is positive, some of it is negative, and right now we're just trying to focus on the positive and just keep releasing amazing content. That's what we are focused on. Obviously, Isaac and I are extremely sad with that we won't be able to work on the Halloween patch because we love making them puzzles. We actually like the different personalities of the characters on the Halloween patch. It's really just fun for us to program, and we have a great time writing it. So, uh, what about you share a small glimpse from the scripts until release? I could do something like that. I could do something like that, like selective cut a few parts and then leave people guessing like, oh my god, how does that happen or what lead to that? I could do that. That's also an option. I've already spoiled a little bit. I can tell you that the game start with Ayami becoming their babysitter, and the game can end like 6 years later. Uh, the possible endings is the twins stay with the twins, or Ayami is caught by their father. That's the two possible endings. But I know that I've had, to be fair, the first time I planned the Shota patch, I actually had like 4 or 5 scenes planned with the father, and then I went like, oh, this looks hot, but it's not what the the patch is about. And then after a long evaluation and reading what you guys wrote and when you guys saw the father for the first time and whatnot, I saw the feedback that I was getting, and I decided, okay, no, I'm gonna remove most of the scenes from the father and just add more scenes with the sons. And yeah, I just kept removing the father scenes because at some point it will be like 66% the kids, and then like his sons, and then it will be like 33% the father, and then it will be the scenes with both, like the sons and the father. And right now, I mean, you see the father in scenes. You see the father like in the background when they're having sex by the refrigerator, and now you know that the father opens the door and they're covered by a blanket, and you can tell, yeah, that's the father in the shadow. By the way, in case you guys didn't figure out. The father comes to check on them, and they are supposedly sleeping. But yeah, the father scenes were pretty hot. Honestly, I can tell you that I scraped them, but mostly it will be like I am falling in love for the father, and she will start making excuses not to go home as much and trying to tell Robert that his family needed them a lot, and that these kids had no mother and they needed their support, and eventually she will just join the family. She will become their mommy, and that was the original idea. Now it's similar, but the father is not as prevalent in the story, and the reasoning for this, and this is the last thing that I'm going to say about the patches. The reasoning for this is we are trying to be extremely selective about the scenes that we add to the games. We don't want to add scenes in vain. Like, they just added this for no reason. The scene has to be really hot. It has to have like a different topic. It has to have like some flavor to it. It has to either be like covering a fetish or pushing an agenda, like trying to push the story forward. Uh, it has to make sense. It can't be there just for the sake of, oh, she's having sex. Like, we are done with those. And when I say we are done with those, Fleeting Arrows, like I said many many times, was a learning project, and we wanted to make it massive. Like, everyone is trying to jump on her back, and there will be a lot of scenes that will be just that, like a lot of people trying to have sex with Ayami. But now we are trying to make every scene count, and that is not just for Fleeting Iris. That is not just for Fleeting Iris EF. That's across the board. That means Bloodlust. That means all the future games of Phalanx Chronicles. That means Journey Abroad. We don't want to make a single scene that you are not covering a fetish or you are not pushing the story forward. Like all the scenes have to have a major impact. I don't want to have scenes in the game where I'm like, oh, I even forgot this was a scene. It's just something that happens in the middle of a day, like a random event in that is not eventful. It's just like, yeah, she sucked some dick. That's what happened that day. It was fun. Move on. Like I don't want that. I want all the scenes to have a story, to be harder if you see the scene in context. I want all the scenes to add a lot to the story, to add a lot to the world, to the dynamic of the characters. Like I want the scenes to feel extremely organic and not like forced. And I feel like this is going to definitely make all our games better because all the scenes are going to be impactful and all the scenes are going to be extremely discussed and thought of, and we are going to try and approach and deliver each one of them like it's going to be the only scene that anyone is going to get to see. We want to make every scene impactful. This is kind of like, honestly, at this point, Fleeting Artists was our debut album, and now we are making an album that we're trying to make masterpieces. And even as an artist, when you release a song, all the songs need to be good. If you are a rapper, you're going to feel like every line has to make impact. Every line has to make sense. I'm not gonna say a line just because it rhymes with the line that came before. Like all the lines need to be punchlines. All the lines need to be smart. Need to be like ingenious. Need to make like an impact. And that's how you make good songs. And in the same sense, we feel like good entire games are made by every scene hits hard. Especially in the games that we want to come, we want to make more with less. So we want the game to shine in every single regard, and we want to make sure that all the scenes are extremely impactful. And that's the reason why we decided to cut the father off the shoulder patch, because it's a shoulder patch. And even though those scenes, in my perspective, and obviously Forsen already said that he also would like to see those scenes, even though those scenes were great, I don't feel like they were necessary for this type of patch. So ultimately, I reduced it down to one, and I put the focus on the shoulder because it's what this patch is, and that's what we're gonna try and do not only on Fleeting Iris, but every single game across the board, is to make every scene count, and every scene make a big impact in terms of story, in terms of fetishes, in terms of delivery. We want it to be, a lot better. Morgan, what's up? Man, I gotta tell you, you gotta go back and check because there's already been release dates. So now let's focus on Journey Abroad. Journey Abroad is going to be extremely small. I'm gonna the part about Journey Abroad is going to be extremely small. Here's the fact. I've been hiding shit from you guys. I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's a few characters and there's a few scenes and whatnot that I haven't spoiled because it's the first patch, and I don't want to spoil you guys too much. We are putting so much time and so much effort in Journey Abroad that we really want you guys to see things for the first time, and we want it to be a good proof of concept, and it's going to be very short, but I feel like it's going to be like an amazing setup. Like, the maps are absolutely pristine. We spent countless hours creating assets, editing, remapping, and whatnot. Literally, some of the maps, some of the dialogues, some of the stuff that we've been making took us days to make stuff that, if I looked at it 10 years ago when I started, I would have... Actually, I started like 12. But yeah, if I played the game 12 years ago and I looked at the scenes, I will be like, man, this probably took like 5 minutes to make. And we took days. We are spending so much time to perfecting, to the best of our ability, every single detail in the game, from the mapping to the sprites to the lights to the scripts to the menus, everything. We want to release a game that is, this is Evan Studios. This is what we've been working for. This is what we've learned in the past 8 years working on Alliance Chronicles. We really want to hit this one out of the ballpark. We are so excited in anticipation for the release of Journey Abroad. However, I know that you guys noticed in the few in the few, actually my voice is changing because I'm still kind of fucked up, but I'm sure you guys understand that. So I know that you guys noticed that in the previous podcasts, I've always been saying that it's kind of hard trying to work with someone early on because you don't know what are how is their work ethic. There's still some you're trying to learn how to communicate with the person and whatnot, when they're available, when they're not. And we had a nice talk with Scarlett, and Scarlett told us, hey, listen, this is the difficulties, this is what the problem is right now, and I'm really trying to do good, to do nice by you guys, but usually when people ask me for a commission, they can it takes months for me to deliver stuff to them. That's just how it goes. I'm trying to do nice by you guys, but unless I charge more or I charge higher rates, I probably won't be able to hit the deadlines that you guys expect. And we're like, Scarlett, we don't care, just give us the higher rates. We can make this work. Like, there's a lot of people that want this game. I'm sure they will. There will be support, and these people will pay enough for you to work hard. Like, we want you to work as fast as you can, because there's a lot of demand for this game. This game needs to be out, and this game, after the game is out, we need the scenes to be delivered in a speedy manner. Uh, then I'm not gonna try and say a lot more, paraphrase what was said and what wasn't said. But it was a delight to talk to Scarlett, and it was super easy to communicate. Was a really nice, easygoing discussion, and I just expressed, listen, if you just become more transparent, more communicative, so to speak. If you tell me, like, this is the deadline that I'm gonna release, and this is like the estimate, because sometimes I just get worried and whatnot, because I commission you stuff, you disappear, then you come back and then you deliver. Like, if you keep me updated, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna feel a lot better, and I'm gonna be able to communicate all that stuff to our supporters, and it's easier to get them engaged, because they know they are not being left in the shadows. Like, I, as a developer, if you leave me in the shadows, I'm going to be disengaged. I'm going to be like, what is going on? And the same thing is with our supporters. Like, our supporters need to feel like they are part of the process, because they are uh, um, they are the ones that are funding it. So people need to be told, and people need to be let known what are they paying for, like what is going on. People don't like to be told, to be left in the shadows. Like, I know a lot of people, I know a lot of companies do that, but that's companies that have shit to hide, and we pride ourselves and on some unprofessionalism, because we are transparent. We talk to our supporters like they are our friends, because they are our friends. They are supporting us. They are funding the whole process, and that's why our podcast has no cuts, no edits. It's not made to look professional. It's not made to cut stuff that we feel like, oh man, that's not what I meant to say, and people might interpret it on a different, on a bad way or whatever. No, we are natural. We are organic, we want to be that across everywhere, everything. Like, we want people to know what's going on. We want people to know if there's delays, what caused the delays, what are we working on the future. We want people to feel encouraged to come talk to us, ask questions. Like, we want to feel people engaged in this product, because the main reason why we're doing this is because we're passionate about what we do, and we want the feedback of the people, and we want people to, obviously, to be entertained, and we want people to be engaged in our product, because that means we're making a good game. We want people to to ask questions. We want people to feel passionate about the project just as much as we are, and that's why I feel like we have an amazing community, because I definitely see that. I see people throwing a lot of criticism. I see people offering a lot of suggestions, and that's what allows us to grow. I might agree or might disagree with a lot of the stuff that he said, but all of it is appreciated, you know. And something that was scaring me is that there wasn't a lot of communication between us and Scarlett, and you know, the more we talk, um, the nicer it is to work with him, her. I'm not, you know, not gonna try and guess the gender over the internet. I'm going. I mean, the name is Scarlett, and I'm going to assume he's a female, but you know what it means about assuming in 2022. I don't want to offend anyone. I really don't, because that's the truth. Regardless if I agree with your views and your creed and your religion or whatever, regardless of all that, it is never my intention to offend anyone. Like, I don't want anyone to feel like shit or make anyone feel worse, um, on purpose. Like, I really don't want to hurt someone else. I feel like it's completely unnecessary. It's 2022. You dialogue shit and everything is gonna be fine. Of course, there's mean people, there's evil people out there, but you can just choose to turn your back on them and just move on and keep going on with your life, and not let the negative and like the bad shit influence you. Just you can. I've read something like, I think it was like Steve Harvey that wrote it, and he said something like, we need to learn to let go, not get mad, not get angry, not try to solve it, not try, just let go. Someone is annoying you, turn their back on him, let go. And yeah, that's it. And I feel like we fostered such a nice environment, such a nice community for Evan Studios. And obviously, this is always biased, because I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is my community, it's my game, so you know. But I definitely feel like I always have a good time talking with the community. I'm never afraid to come and talk to the community. I'm never like, oh, I'm gonna have to talk and debate whatever it is with those assholes again. No, everyone is super nice, super understanding. Even though they come from like different backgrounds and they have like different views on the game, people have different favorite routes. Some like this, some don't like it, and but everyone is willing to respect each other and just appreciate the game for what it is. It's an anti-game, and man, I think that's beautiful. And you know, it just makes me feel like we're just a community around an entire game, and we are we are better respecting each other's and tolerate whatever it is better than shit that may cause people to go homeless, start wars, and all that shit. Like, it makes me feel kind of like, yeah, we're just a community about an entire game, but we're but we easily behave better than you guys. Like, you guys are on like some really fucked up topics, and you guys manage to fuck up the world. and and when it comes to an entire game, everybody can be like on accord. It's like, it's just an entire game. Like, just respect each other. If you don't like what they don't like, or whatever it is, you know, feels like this community, which a lot of people, this is the punchline of what I'm trying to say. A lot of people say that if you have an avatar from an anime game, or if you like anime games, or if you play games or whatever, you're a child, you're immature, you're this, you're that, and whatever. And then we have a community centered around an entire game that acts with more maturity, more respect, and more tolerance than any of those communities out there that are constantly accusing this type of community to be trolls, to be immature, to be misogynistic, because the women in the games are portrayed like poorly. But then when it comes to the actual point, we're more tolerant, more respectful. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how can you accuse us of being all that, but when it comes to actually doing it, or stand by what you everything that you just said, you're the ones that fuck up, and we're the ones that are tolerant and respectful, and all that. Like, that's why I wanted to make it, but unfortunately, the platform in which we were going to make it died. It was Plex Mate, or whatever the fuck it was called. I wanted to make like Anti Games Done Quick, which is like a Summer Games Done Quick, which will be a anti-game marathon, and all the profit will be donated. All the profit, all the revenue. I didn't want any of the money. I wanted to grab all of the money and donate to victims at the time, because this was something that was big at the time. It still is, but at the time it was even more massive. It was becoming very aware, which was victims of domestic violence, which skyrocketed during COVID because people were, staying at home. And we wanted to show females that just because we play anti games doesn't mean that we don't respect them. We're actually on their side. And in particular, this community, which is the one that I know the best, that is tolerant, is respectful, is mature, and is definitely on female sides. So it doesn't matter how the out world, all the outer world sees us, or how they judge us because we have an anime character in our profiles and our avatars and whatever. Fuck them. They don't know shit about us, and only us inside know the type of amazing people that we have in these communities, and the type of communities that we foster, and what are our ideals, and everything that we have that makes us a good community. So it's irrelevant what the fuck people from the outside think. Fuck them. Just fuck them, dude. We know what we have. We know how amazing. I personally know how amazing all of you are, and that's what matters. Like, fuck whatever people from outside say. Like, what the fuck do they know? What the fuck does anyone know? So just keep being you, man. Keep doing you. I really love y'all, man. Y'all are fucking amazing. Like, this is the best community I could have ever asked for. So if 12 years ago when I started doing this shit, I was like, man, I'm not gonna tell anyone that I'm working on anti games. That's so cringe. Like, that's so weird. I'm not gonna tell anyone. That's weird, man. And nowadays I don't feel like that at all, man. Like, I'm proud to say I work on an anti game. Really, an anti game? What about it? Don't you have sex? Like, I know what you do at night. I know you're playing. I know the type of shit that you do. It's just like, it's not cringe. It's just taboo. You don't talk about it, but you've played some anti games. You know you've played some anti games. Anyway, this was like big detour just to say that people like to talk shit, but they ain't shit. Who cares? Journey abroad. So we talked to Scarlett. Everything is going fine, and she's going to speed up the process in which she's going to try and deliver the stuff. And like I said, I might have been hiding some of the stuff in order for you guys not to get spoiled. But I feel like she said Friday, so I'm gonna say that Friday there will be three new busts for three new characters that are going to be wrapping up the list of characters for Journey Abroad. And boom, boom, boom! I'm gonna spoil right away. It's going to be like a doctor. It's going to be the mother of the bully, and it's going to be the female principal of the school. So there you go. I hope you guys looking forward for Friday for the previews to be released. In regards for the next preview for Fleeting Iris, the CG team is now doing. Man, they're working really hard. They started working on a scene today, and the scene is already looking amazing. It's already looking pretty advanced. I will estimate that mid next week this scene is probably done. And it's going to consist on the twins having sex in the beach with Ayame. And she will be wearing the string bikini that we presented a few months ago. One of the new busts. You guys are gonna like it. I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna like it. It's a DP scene. I can also say that. Last thing that I want to talk about. Thankfully, I didn't forget any of the things. So I've been doing the releases on Twitter, and I've asked people if they wanted me to do the release on the website via text or via video. And people surprisingly decided that I should do the reviews via video, and I hope that I start getting better at doing them, because personally I also like to watch reviews from games on YouTube and whatnot, and I really want to offer another alternative for reviews. I feel like the first episode, even though I feel like I did a shit job at doing the review, I feel like the episode was still very successful. There were a lot of people on the comment section telling me, "Yep, keep these reviews coming. We want more reviews. That was amazing. Do more." So yeah, I'm gonna try to do at least a review per week or two, and keep doing reviews. There's still a lot of good games out there that I haven't made reviews on or talked about. I've been playing a few on my since I was sick, because I'm gonna be honest. I personally and a few friends of mine have like a website with a library, and we kind of work as what are those people that play games and kind of filter what's good and what's bad? Curators? Yeah, okay. So basically the there's it's curated. So basically we have like a list of games with reviews and it's curated and whatnot. And I've been playing a lot of those games to try and see what's good and whatnot, and what to suggest for my friends to play. And yeah, definitely there's a few games that I want to make reviews about that I thought it was like really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do more reviews, at least one or two per week. So right now my voice is still not 100%, as you guys probably have noticed, but I will definitely try to like maybe at the end of the week, or worst case scenario like next Monday, I will try to release the next review. I still haven't decided on which game yet, but I'll try to do it on the same. Uh, wow, I just the word just ran out of my mind. On the same format. I'm gonna try and release the next review Friday or Monday, on the same format as the last review, which was like number 14, which was the married wife elf thingy game. It's pretty decent. So yeah, God, I have one more thing to say. But whatever. These were the four topics that I wanted to talk about. If you guys have questions for me right now, I will be willing to discuss everything. Don't. Oh, okay. I remember. Don't forget until midnight to say if you want spoilers from, if you want to be spoiled with the story for the show to patch or not, or if you wanted to see released in snippets. So that's like the three options: release it, don't release it, release like little snippets until the patch is out. Yeah, those are the options. Let me try and see what's questions and whatnot. Actually, Zelmate said something that I really want to read. Once in for 2 months was that she got delivered and she was not doing. Okay, okay. I'm not gonna open that. I'm not gonna open that. Zelmate, because uh, because reasons, because I don't go on F95. That's number one. Uh, but yeah, I understand that. But so far it's not an issue. Let's see how things go. So far it doesn't seem to be an issue. Morgan asked, "Hope you all fine. Already any news about the release dates?" Journey Abroad, we are still hopeful for September. We already since we charged in August was the first time we charged, if I recall correctly, and we thought the game was going to come out in August. We stopped September, so people won't be charged in September. Actually, people won't be charged until the first one comes out, and even on the month where the first one comes out, we still won't charge until there's one in the bank. Like people will get one patch for free. But yeah, we thought by now that we will have all the assets necessary for Journey Abroad, but sadly we don't. We're still missing a few busts, but we were already told they will be coming out on Friday, so not a big deal. In regards for Fleeting Aries and the Shota patch, which is what most people are excited for, um, I honestly suggest that you go listen to the podcast from the start. But long story short, Shota patch has been made bigger, and the new release date is somewhere in October, and the Halloween patch was cut off. The patch for this year was cut off. So that's the very short version to a big long explanation. but there are still not 9 scenes to be presented and to be released for Floating Gardens Shota patch. We just extended the Shota patch in order to make it, even better. And so that the Shota patch and the Halloween patch wouldn't take a hit. Um, and I think that's it. I think no one asked any questions and whatnot. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's podcast. I'm sorry I haven't been able to do podcasts, but if you imagine how my voice is right now, and I'm already fine, imagine how my voice was like to the point where I had to take anti-inflammation pills for my throat because it was hurting like shit. Like I will say like 2 words and instantly start coughing. My throat will go dry like instantly. So it was pretty bad, guys. It hasn't been a fun August for me. I spent most of it sick, um, and and just unable to be productive in all regards to begin with. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. I'm sorry I haven't been able to do the podcast. I know how much so many of you enjoy the podcast. But I hope that we can go back to doing it, the weekly podcasts from now on. Hope you had a good time, and I'll see you guys hopefully next week. Don't forget, uh, we should have more releases on Friday. And now I just gotta remember to post this on all our social medias and all our patrons and subscribers and whatnot. Hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day, you guys, and stay healthy. Jesus, stay healthy. Much love. Take care. Bye bye.
君